So the annuity that I bought, why don't I give a crap about the fees that I am paying within that annuity? I'm going to explain that here. My name is Charlie Gipple. I'm the owner of CG Financial Group, your independent marketing organization for annuities, life, and long-term care. So I posted something to LinkedIn that's gotten around 125,000 views, and it went something like this. I put in $200,000, me personally. I just now put in $200,000 because at age 65, that annuity that I bought for $200,000 is going to give me and my wife $44,000 of income for both of our lives, for the longer of which of us lives. $200,000 going in, $44,000 coming out, forever. This anti-annuity rocket scientist. Yes, I call them that sarcastically because these people, they don't know what they don't know. It's like, how dumb would I be if I were a Republican and I said all Democrats, every single one of them are horrible. Or if I'm a Democrat, all Republicans, 100% of them are horrible. Or if I said cars, I don't like cars. Just because there's one type of car, a Range Rover, where frankly, if you own a Range Rover, you probably have more money than you have brains, but I digress there. Just because I don't like one type of car, I just hate cars in general. These are the anti-annuity rocket scientists, those that assume that everybody else is dumber than them. They say that the dumber you are, the dumber you assume everybody else is. I bet Charlie never did the Monte Carlo simulations on his own portfolio to show him the opportunity cost, the missed opportunity by moving $200,000 out of the market into an annuity. No, I did. Well, I bet Charlie doesn't know about correlation coefficients to where he could create a nice diversified portfolio. And because there are certain assets and they're negatively correlated, then I bet he doesn't know that he could kind of sort of make a safe portfolio without the use of an annuity. I've done that analysis there. Well, I bet he doesn't know about beta, to where if the more risk that you take on, also the more upside you take. I've done all that analysis. I've sure as heck have done it with my clients' portfolios as well as my own portfolio. Okay. So anyway, I digress. The anti-annuity rocket scientist, he comes on and says this, but I bet that annuity has really high fees. I wrote him back. He goes, what are the fees? I wrote him back. I said, I don't care what the fees are in my annuity because it's going to give me $44,000 per year net of any fees on just $200,000. Do you have anything, I asked him, that will give me the same thing regardless of fees? He wrote back saying, I don't have anything that will match that, but I bet it has really high fees. Then he disappeared off into the sunset to later come back and delete all of his comments, which were basically stupid. So here's my summary of that conversation, of which all these conversations, the person always disappears off into the sunset after you provide them with data. Many times comes back and deletes all their comments. So here's my summary of that conversation. The anti-annuity rocket scientists do not have the same thing that we have. They cannot match what an annuity does. But guess what? They can do it cheaply. You may run out of money in your retirement years, but that's okay, because you can rest assured that you ran out of money in a cheap manner. So congratulations to you. That anti-annuity rocket scientist ran back to his boss, the guy that says he'd rather die and go to hell than sell an annuity. The same guy that, maybe a handful of years ago stood in front of a group of financial advisors at a very important financial advisor meeting, an industry-wide, very important meeting, and said, him getting clients is a lot like getting into a girl's pants. Yes, that is exactly what it's a lot like getting into a girl's pants. You have to kind of ease into it, right? What kind of quality people is this that we're dealing with? But I digress there. Here's why I don't give a crap about how high the fees are on my annuity, because I actually understand how these annuities work, right? Because I am smart enough to know that I do not make judgments against something unless I fully understand it. And you can bet that 20 years within the carriers, where I took part in a lot of the product development committees, the actuarial committees, the interest rate setting committees, the hedging committees, I know how these annuities work. I know how to leverage them, and I know how to get alpha, so to speak, when it comes to retirement income. So let me explain for the anti-annuity rocket scientists, as well as the wonderful people that actually understand the benefit of annuities here. Let me explain why I don't care about the fees in my annuity. So here is how an indexed annuity works with a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit. Here's how it works. You have me today, I'm gonna pull my mic over here, me today with $200,000 going in. You have me 19 years from now. That's when I'm going to activate the income, okay? So $200,000. What do the fees apply to? Because make no mistake, there are fees in this policy here. The fees apply to my contract value. What is the contract value? The contract value is this. I can never lose money if the market crashes, but I get a 0 on my statement. Now, it can go down slightly actually because the fee is actually 1.1%, which I don't care about. And I'll explain in a bit why I don't care about that. So in short, if the market crashes, you get a 0. If the market goes up, you get something up to a cap, for instance. I don't really even care what the cap is. And here is the way that the contract value works off, say, until I'm age 65, for instance. I don't care about this value, even though if I were to pass away between now and age 65, that's what the beneficiary would get, but that's not likely. And by the way, I have a lot of money in a stocks and bonds portfolio, for instance, that's going to have a nice stepped up cost basis where the beneficiaries are going to be just fine should I pass away somewhere between now and age 65. If I want to cash out the policy and decide I don't want that guaranteed lifetime income, it is this value, the accumulation value, that I get to cash out. But guess what? I don't plan on using this value because in the actuarial meetings at insurance companies, utilization rates are important to understand. And that is this. What percentage of people that own guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefits, that payment I'm talking about, 44 grand, utilize them? Because guess what? Those that don't utilize them, those that just cash out their policy or those that pass away without ever using that GLWB, those folks and their 1.1% fee goes towards paying for those that actually do utilize the rider, right? So what is this rider that I'm talking about? The meat of the conversation that I'm talking about. Well, that's the second value. And the second value is this. I immediately get a 10% bonus. My $200,000 goes to $220,000. And then every year for 19 years, in my example, for 19 years, technically it's 20 years with this product, that value is going to compound at a rate of 6.5%. So out here, when I'm age 65, it's going to end up being $700 and some thousand, I forget. At that point in time, when I activate income, you multiply that times an age 65 payout factor of 6.03%. All this math, it doesn't really matter. What the end result is 700 and some grand times 6.03%. It's $44,000 forever and ever and ever. $44,000. Net of any fees, these fees down here don't impact that. By me utilizing this, which you can rest assured I'm going to, whether I need the income or not, because the income is good, whether I need the income or not at retirement, which frankly, I won't. I have enough money in my stocks and bonds portfolio, ETFs, all that other stuff. I won't need the money. But why would I not access this? Why would I not utilize this if that's going to give me a pretty decent internal rate of return based off the cash flow? Do I give a crap about what the fees are down here? I don't. But Charlie, have you done the opportunity cost analysis? Have you done the Monte Carlo simulations based off of moving $200,000 out of the wonderful stock market, right? The stock market that has done 10% since 1926 per the Ibbotson stocks, bonds, bills, and inflation chart. Have you done the opportunity cost analysis within a Monte Carlo simulation? Yeah, I have. And overall, taking 200, actually probably taken well into the 7 figures out of the stocks and bonds into the annuity only helps in most scenarios, beyond the median scenarios, only helps by me utilizing the annuity that's going to give me roughly 22% cash flow versus what I put in today. But the main story here is, that is why I don't care about what the fee is that applies to this, because I'm not even looking at this as a true value. And that is what the anti-annuity rocket scientists don't understand.